Hello, and welcome to this episode of Frankie's Cultural Observations. Today, we're going to be analysing vegans. In the free market, virtue has become competitive. So rather than being an ethical dietary choice, veganism has become an endurance sport of typing, calling out, voicing concerns, holding space, and shedding awareness for problems that are too big to do anything about in the first place. Vegans are not difficult to understand. They're just cows that don't eat meat and know how to share infographics on Instagram. These human cattle can't fit anything else in their mouth. They're too busy eating other vegans for not being vegan enough. So vegans, as a species of protectors, are a protected species that will soon become extinct due to in-group dining. So while they stand against humans frying pigs into bacon, they're perfectly happy with the snake eating its own tail. This is an inner form of self-critique known as internalized vegetarianism, a spreadable form of friendly fire, a saltiness that clusters across all the kale it crunches. I can't believe it's not butcher. In this form, vegans begin to embody the authoritative parental figure, the self-appointed disciplinarian of people who basically agree with their worldview anyway. This militant strand of vegan decides to go to war with other inferior vegans who eat veggie burgers and vegan chocolate instead of raw, unprocessed stuff that actually tastes disgusting. So when it comes to nutritional intake, there's no meat on the bone, so to speak. These celery vultures seek out their prey and pluck them apart in the public square / community garden that they have outdoor fun in with the polycule that they got kicked out of. Vegans abstain from animal products, but cannibalism within their own community remains vegan friendly and is actively encouraged. Is that vegan?
No.
This strain of vegan acts as cannon fodder for Piers Morgan to invite him on the show and then roast their meat about how delicious burgers are, disregarding their opinion just because they have a nose ring. I'm sweating. While vegans hate other vegans, their real enemy is meat, dairy, and vegetarians, as opposed to, say, the K-holes that tear strips out of their bladder every weekend. It turns out having a balanced diet of the 5 food groups could give them a chemical imbalance or throw their chakras out of alignment, and that would be a disaster. They could have a wobbler and show up at your house demanding you make them an entirely separate meal. What's your name?
India.
Exactly. Vegans feel things very deeply, but they don't have time to worry about themselves. They have too much eco-anxiety to think about their own problems, or about how many bowls of chickpea curry it will take for Coca-Cola to stop dumping plastic into the ocean. So they goose you with their green thumb, dangling your dietary preferences on the long finger to poke you about how unethical you're being with your free will. Therefore, vegans believe in personal responsibility and doing your own bit, which, ironically, in a different context, is exactly the type of talking point you'd hear from someone who thinks climate change is a hoax. So vegans have their snipers set on the everyday civilians rather than the major corporations who do most of the damage. And what they fail to realise is, most of us are at least peripherally aware of the ethics around eating meat, but our love of the cow is often not stronger than our love of the burger. And because we've become alienated from the process of food production, none of us know cows in real life. So meat eaters can't really be blamed if they enjoy a summertime barbecue. If vegans really want to take a stand and make a change, they need to eat the rich in nutrition